Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Sri Guru Samhita, the legend of the Supreme Guru, original in Marathi as Sri Guru Charitra by Sri Gangadhara Saraswati. Chapter 3. The story of Ambareesha and the story of the reasons for the incarnations of Lord Vishnu. Salutations to Lord Ganapati. Salutations to Lord Dattatreya. On hearing the extremely devotional and highly descriptive words of Siddhaguru, Namadharaka was overjoyed. He said the following. 2. Namadharaka said, "Glory to you, O Siddhaguru. You are my deliverer, who is going to save me from this ocean of life. Today, you have cleared the doubts I had in my mind. 3. I am now immersed in the ocean of bliss after having heard all these narrations from you. I have heard the divine essence of the Supreme Guru from your own sacred mouth. 4. O Master, after drinking the divine nectar-like legend of the Supreme Guru, which is emanating from your sacred mouth, my mind is brimming with ecstasy by your grace. 5. O Master, where is your residence? What about your food and other amenities? Please tell me. I am your humble servant." Saying thus, Namadharaka touched the feet of Siddhaguru and prostrated himself before him. 6. The all-merciful Siddhaguru was pleased on hearing this. He embraced Namadharaka, blessed and congratulated him, and began to recount the details about himself. 7. Siddhaguru said, "Wherever the Supreme Guru resides, so do I reside in all those places. The constant contemplation of the Supreme Guru is my nutritious food." 8. The divine nectar-like legend of the Supreme Guru formed the life-saving water for me. That gives me real satisfaction. Look at the sacred book called the Guru Charitra. This is indeed holy. Reading and chanting this constantly with devotion yields me much happiness and contentment. 9. This book will grant worldly happiness, eternal emancipation and bliss, and whatever other desires the reader wishes to get fulfilled. This is the legend of the Supreme Guru. Just by listening to the narration of this text, one can achieve everything. 10. If a person wishes to have prosperity, then he will achieve immense prosperity just by listening to the narrations in the book. If he wishes to obtain familial happiness with children and grandchildren, then he will achieve it as well. If he wishes to have other forms of wealth, including cows, then he will definitely achieve all his desires. If a person wishes to achieve knowledge, then this book will grant him supreme knowledge. 11. If a person has any specific desires in his mind, then he should either read or listen to the complete Guru Charitra in 1 week. That is a Saptaha Parayana with complete devotion. Then he will achieve everything he wishes for. Even a childless person will obtain a good son if he follows this procedure. 12. Even the planetary afflictions will not bother the devotee who reads or listens to this holy book. A person who is bound for any reasons will be liberated from those bonds just by listening to the holy Guru Charitra. 13. A human being can live for 100 years and become highly knowledgeable just by listening to the narration. All mortal sins, including Brahmahatya, that is, killing of a pious Brahman, will be destroyed just by listening to the holy Guru Charitra. 14. Upon hearing these words of Siddhaguru, Namadharaka prostrated himself before the Guru and said to him, "O Master, you are the ocean of compassion. Please rescue me from this ocean of difficulties." 15. You are radiant and shining brilliantly as the very form of the divine Guru. O Master, I also have this intense desire of listening to the holy Guru Charitra. 16. Just as one gives sweet water and quenches the thirst of a person who has travelled a long distance and is very tired and thirsty, Similarly, please give me the sweet nectar of the holy Guru Charitra and quench my thirst, as I have been suffering in this illusory world of family and other worldly desires. 17. As soon as the sun rises in the morning and showers his immense brightness all over the world, the intense darkness of the night disappears. Similarly, just by listening to the divine Guru Charitra, may the intense darkness of my ignorance be vanquished. 18. On hearing these words of Namadharaka, the great Siddha Guru comforted him and assured him of a solution to his sorrows. He held Namadharaka's hand and led him to a tree which the Supreme Guru had worshipped for a long time. 19. That was the Ashwatha tree, that is the holy people tree, which is also called Kalpavriksha, the celestial all wish granting tree. The tree is the tree that grants all divine knowledge. The tree has the divine presence of the Supreme Guru and was indeed the abode of the Supreme Guru. Siddha Guru sat under this tree and had Namadharaka seated there in front of him as well. 20. Siddha Guru spoke affectionately to Namadharaka. He said, "My disciple, listen. You are ignorant and you do not have firm devotion towards the Supreme Guru. You doubt everything. That is the reason why your mind is filled with worries and anguish." 21. Only a person who has firm devotion towards the Guru and also is of good character can really recognize the form and essence of the Supreme Guru. And as a consequence, this person can achieve everything his mind desires. 22. On hearing these words, Namadharaka, who was in a pitiful state, saluted Siddha Guru again and respectfully said to the compassionate one, "O Master, I am completely lost in this ocean of illusory world." 23. I am drowning in this vast river of ignorance. I have been burnt and roasted in the inferno like Tapatraya, that is the three major afflictions of the created beings. I have been surrounded by crocodiles representing lust, desire, anger, jealousy, greed, and other evil qualities. 24. O Master, you are the boatman. Please lift me onto the boat of knowledge. May the winds of your kindness inspire this boat to sail. Only then will I ever be able to reach the shores representing the Supreme Spirit. 25. On hearing the sorrowful words uttered by his disciple, Guru Siddha placed his hand compassionately on Namadharaka's head. 26. Guru Siddha said, "O Namadharaka, do not fear. Put aside your worries. Get up, get up. May goodness come upon you. I will fulfill all your wishes. Leave all your doubts aside." 27. Whoever does not have true and steadfast devotion towards the Guru, that person is never bereft of problems, worries, and anguish. What can the Guru ever do to a person who doubts everything? 28. You see, doubt has firmly settled in your mind. That is the reason why you are so unhappy. Therefore, first cast away these doubts from your mind. Become a dedicated and knowledgeable person. 29. Pray to the Supreme Guru without any doubts or reservation. He will help you fulfill all your desires. If you worship him, he will never leave you. He will never ignore you. 30. Know the Supreme Guru to be the ocean of compassion. Know him as the omniscient one who knows all the Vedas, sacred scriptures, and all forms of knowledge. If you seek refuge at his lotus feet, then there is nothing on this earth that you will not be able to achieve. You will be able to attain everything your mind desires. 31. Who else is there that can grant you everything you ask for? You tell me. The Supreme Guru is the most generous donor, just like the clouds. Remember, the clouds are very impartial. They shed rains everywhere without any reservations. 32. Similarly, the Supreme Guru grants his devotees everything they ask for without any partiality. Also know that the rainwater does not collect and stand still at higher gradients. It will collect and stand still at lower levels, particularly in pits in the ground. 33. Steadfast devotion is like the pit in the ground, and ostentatious person is like the higher gradient. Therefore, do not be ostentatious, or you will not be able to receive the Supreme Guru's kindness. Instead, worship and pray to the Supreme Guru with all body, mind, and soul, and with complete devotion. 34. If the incomparable Guru just touches his disciple with his hand, then that is sufficient for the disciple to disregard this illusory world and become one with the Supreme Lord. Such is the magnificence and power of the Supreme Guru. 35. There is no other entity comparable to the Kalpavriksha, the celestial all-wish-granting tree. The Supreme Guru is the Kalpavriksha. The Supreme Guru is going to grant you all your desires very soon. 36. Therefore, first, cast away your doubts and reservations. The Vedas and the Shastras, that is sacred scriptures, praise the Guru of the universe, that is Jagat Guru, to the ultimate heights. He is the Kamadhenu, the celestial all-wish-granting cow. Seek refuge at his feet first. 37. On hearing these words from Siddhaguru, Namadharaka sat in deep contemplation for a while, folding his hands. He realized that this was the ultimate blessing of the Supreme Guru. Later he said the following. 38. Namadharaka said, O Saint of Saints, O Ocean of Compassion, you are the Kamadhenu, the celestial all-wish-granting cow. O Master, I am your humble servant. Please ward away the fears of the illusory world from my mind. 39. On hearing your descriptive and detailed words, my mind is now firmly rooted in the lotus feet of the Supreme Guru. I am very much interested in listening to the Leelas, that is, divine pastimes of the Supreme Guru. 40. O Master, salutations to you. If the Supreme Guru is the very essence of the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, then why did he incarnate on the earth as man? Please describe this to me. 41. Siddhaguru said, O good man, you are the moon among the disciples. As a result of your question, the time has come for the tides in the ocean of my sermons to rise. Note, just as the ocean tides rise with the full moon, similarly, as a result of Namadharaka's question, the Guru's sermons obtained a reason to rise and flow out with vigor. 42. It is time for immense happiness to flow over you. It is time for you to obtain servitude to the Supreme Guru. You will experience divine bliss shortly. 43. I have been wandering on the earth for a long time, but no one asked me such questions at all. Today, however, you are ready and enthusiastic to drink the divine nectar of the Guru Charitra and to serve the Supreme Guru. 44. I have noticed that whoever is eager to experience both the pleasures of this world and the other world, that is, the heavens, will always be anxious to listen to the holy Guru Charitra. So, get ready to listen to this holy narration with purified body, mind and soul. 45. You are an ardent devotee of the Supreme Guru. That is why you have been inspired to ask such questions. You will achieve all the four pursuits of human life, that is Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. That is my firm belief. 46. By listening to the holy Guru Charitra, people will be able to achieve all forms of prosperity, wealth, familial pleasures, including children and grandchildren, knowledge of the Vedas and the other sacred scriptures, long life and good health, happiness, and finally eternal liberation from the cycles of birth and death. 47. Everyone agrees, including the great sages, that the holy Guru Charitra is in agreement with all the Vedas and the other sacred scriptures. O good man, my disciple, the Supreme Spirit is without form at all. 48. Know that, in spite of it, he assumes a human form and comes down to earth on his own accord to exhibit his divine pastimes, to relieve the earth of its demonic burdens, and to deliver his devotees from illusion towards divine knowledge. Thus, he comes in the guise of a man to protect dharma, that is righteousness. 49. On hearing these nectar-like words from Siddhaguru, Namadharaka saluted him and said, O learnt one, what were the reasons behind the incarnations of the Supreme Spirit? 50. O Master, please have mercy on me and describe everything in detail to me. Then Siddhaguru said, Listen, Namadharaka, the essence of the Supreme Spirit is Nirguna, that is without form or any other qualities. 51. This whole universe and its components, including this world, are all without beginning. There is only one Supreme Spirit. It is indivisible. At the same time, the powerful Maya, that is illusion, is composed of all the three gunas, that is qualities or modes, sattva, rajas, and tamas. But it is inanimate and cannot really function on its own. It can operate only with the support of the Supreme Spirit. This powerful Maya is the reason for the birth of the universe. 52. On its own accord, the Supreme Spirit divided itself into three forms, three names and manifestations, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, imbibing one of the three gunas in each manifestation. There emerged Lord Brahma, responsible for Shrishti, that is the creation of the universe, Lord Vishnu, responsible for Sthiti, that is the protection of the universe, and Lord Shiva, responsible for Laya, that is the destruction of the universe. When the guna, qualities of rajas, that is passion, energy, and movement, is at its peak, the Supreme Spirit as Lord Brahma creates the universe. When the guna of sattva, that is positivity, goodness, and wholesome, is at its peak, he as Lord Keshava, that is another name for Lord Vishnu, protects and conserves the universe. When guna of tamas, that is negativity, lethargy, darkness, and ignorance, is at its peak, he as Lord Rudra, another name for Lord Shiva, destroys the universe. These three manifestations are not different from one another. In fact, they all represent the same indivisible Supreme Spirit. Their responsibilities, however, are different. Each manifestation has its own responsibility. Thus, the Supreme Spirit engages in the creation, preservation, and destruction of the universe. This has been extolled by the sacred scriptures. 55. Once upon a time, there was a renowned king by the name of Ambareesha in the Surya, that is solar dynasty. He was an ardent devotee of Lord Vishnu. He would strictly follow the rituals of Ekadashi without fail. Note, many ardent devotees of Lord Vishnu follow the ritual of fasting, praying, and worship of Lord Vishnu on Ekadashi, the 11th day of the lunar schedule, either after the full moon or after the new moon. They break their fast on the next day, that is Dwadashi, the 12th day. It is very important that the fast should be broken before the Dwadashi hours end. Otherwise, the fruits of the Ekadashi rituals are lost. 56. This king was in fact the primary reason as to why Lord Vishnu had to repeatedly incarnate on earth. I will describe all the details to you. Listen carefully. 57. On every Ekadashi, King Ambareesha would undergo the ritual of fasting, provide hospitality to all guests, and be constantly immersed in the contemplation of the Divine Lord. This was his procedure on every Ekadashi. 58. Once the sage Durvasa came to the king's residence. On that day, the king's Ekadashi ritual procedure had almost been completed, and it was time to break the fast. The sage had come with the explicit purpose of breaking the king's rituals. What was the terrible fate that awaited King Ambareesha? Listen. Note, sage Durvasa is notorious in Hindu mythology as a very short-tempered sage who would curse people without much thinking. 59. On that day, there was only one nadi left of the Dwadashi day. King Ambareesha was scared of the sage Durvasa, but he did not flatter. Note, nadi is a slice of time. It is equal to 1/60th of a sidereal day, in effect a period of 24 minutes. 60. He greeted the sage and brought him home. He worshipped the sage according to procedure, including offering padya and arghya. Note, padya involves washing the feet of a guest. Arghya involves offering of water as a respectful reception of a guest. 61. The king prayed to the sage and saluted him with all humility and devotion. He inquired about the sage's well-being and humbly said, "Please complete your rituals and come soon for partaking of the food." There are only a few minutes left of the Dwadashi day. 62. The sage agreed and set off for the river to complete his ritual oblations. He took a long time to complete his rituals. The sage had definitely come to destroy the king's rituals. King Ambareesha was in a dilemma. On one hand, the king would be breaking his Ekadashi rituals if he did not eat anything before the Dwadashi hours passed. On the other hand, he would be ignoring his guest and partaking of food, which was against the king's hospitality procedures. 63. Contemplating on his dilemma, the righteous King Ambareesha decided that he would only drink some water and did not impede any of his procedures. So he drank some water and kept waiting for his guest. 64. In the meanwhile, sage Durvasa arrived. He notified that King Ambareesha had drunk some water and got very angry. He noticed that King Ambareesha had drank some water and got very angry. He flared up. "O king, you have drunk some water while you have kept your hungry guest waiting. How dare you do that?" 65. Asking thus, sage Durvasa got ready to curse the king. King Ambareesha was very frightened and immediately dwelled into contemplation of Lord Vishnu, the Bhaktavatsala, friend of the devotees. 66. Just as a cow comes running to her calf the moment the calf thinks about her, similarly Lord Vishnu appeared before King Ambareesha instantaneously. After all, Lord Narayana, another name for Lord Vishnu, is the most compassionate protector of all those who seek refuge in him. 67. Sage Durvasa cursed King Ambareesha in front of Lord Vishnu. "O king, may you be born again and again as different species." At that time, Lord Vishnu stepped between sage Durvasa and King Ambareesha. Note, every human being tries to overcome the cycle of birth and deaths. People strive to attain moksha, that is eternal emancipation, by performing austere penance, righteous duties and true devotion to the Lord. So when the sage Durvasa cursed King Ambareesha to be born again and again in the cycle of life, and that too as different species, such as fish, reptiles, birds and mammals, that was a real doomed curse. 68. King Ambareesha realized that the sage words would not go in vain. He became very scared and he sought refuge at Lord Vishnu's feet. Then the Bhaktavatsala Lord Vishnu said this to sage Durvasa. 69. Lord Vishnu said, "O sage, I have to protect this devotee of mine, so please transfer the curse onto me. This king is not capable enough to bear that curse. I, on the other hand, have the capability to do so because of my friendship with my devotees." 70. Sage Durvasa, being himself a part of Lord Shiva, though thought about it in his mind. After a careful analysis, he concluded that Lord Vishnu would incarnate on earth and relieve the earth of its demonic burdens, and that this curse was just a small reason for the same. 71 and 72. The darshan, that is, vision of the Supreme Spirit, is difficult for even those people who have performed austere penance for a very long time. Now, for reasons related to this curse, King Ambareesha has become a cause for Lord Vishnu to easily grant darshan along with his consort goddess Lakshmi to all his devotees. The Supreme Spirit, who has no births at all, will now incarnate in order to deliver his devotees from difficulties. 73. I have to thus curse this benevolent one so that he can help all people all over the universe. The earth cannot be relieved of his demonic burdens by King Ambareesha undertaking several births on earth. No, it has to be Lord Vishnu and no one else. 74. Thus thinking thus in his mind, the sage Durvasa decided to transfer the curse onto Lord Vishnu and let him incarnate on earth. He said thus to Lord Vishnu. 75. Sage Durvasa said, "O Hari, another name for Lord Vishnu, although you are present in every small and big creatures, in every subtle and dense creatures, although you are omnipresent and are the universal soul, you will incarnate on earth 10 times, starting with the form of a fish." Note, Lord Vishnu incarnated 10 times on earth as follows and destroyed the various demonic forces in each incarnation. Matsya, fish; Kurma, tortoise; Varaha, boar; Narasimha, man-lion; Vamana, dwarf; Parashurama, the Lord with the axe; Rama, Krishna; Buddha, and Kalki, the knight on the horse. The 76. The vanquisher of the demons, the protector of the righteousness, the all-compassionate Lord Vishnu happily accepted the curse that sage Durvasa gave him. 77. Lord Narayana, who is the supreme Lord and friend of the devotees, assumes infinite forms. Descriptions of his 10 incarnation beginning with Matsya Avatara, the incarnation as a fish, are given in the Puranas, such as Bhagavata Purana. Note: refer to chapter 1, verse 8 for the note listing all the names of the 18 Puranas. 78. Some of the incarnations are obvious and visible incarnations, while others are secret and enigmatic incarnations. The latter are known only to highly knowledgeable people. How can ignorant fools really understand these incarnations? The reason is that they do not believe the Vedas and other sacred scriptures. In fact, they doubt everything. 79. Guru Siddha continued his rendition of the story. I will tell you about another miracle. This concerns Anusuya, the wife of the great Maharshi Atri. The lady Anusuya was a great lady and a strong and courageous woman. She is a gem among the pious and virtuous ladies, as well as great Pativrata, virtuous wife, always engrossed in the service to her husband. She has been highly praised in all the sacred scriptures. 80. Once upon a time, the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, went as guests to the pious lady Anusuya's house in the middle of the day to test her virtuosity. The Trinity gods were transformed into babies as a result of her virtuosity. 81. On hearing these words, Namadharaka was very surprised. He asked Guru Siddha, "How is it that possible? How did that happen? Please describe the story to me. How did the Trinity gods turn into babies?" 82. The great sage Atri is indeed blessed. Where was this great sage born? What kind of a Maharshi was he? What kind of a woman was Anusuya, O Master, O friend of the downtrodden, O Guru, who liberates people from the bondages on earth? O ocean of knowledge, please describe the story in detail to me. 83. Siddha Guru decided that this question and the answers hereto were appropriate and were helpful in fulfilling all the desires of men, in vanquishing all their sorrows and afflictions, and useful in achieving eternal liberation. He proceeded to describe the story in detail to his good disciple Namadharaka. Thus ends chapter 3 in the Jnana Kanda in the dialogue between Guru Siddha and Namadharaka in the text known as the Legend of Narasimha Saraswati, authored by Gangadhara Son Saraswati in the Marathi language as Sri Guru Charitra and referred to as Sri Guru Samhita, composed in the Sanskrit language by His Holiness Sri Vasudevananda Saraswati. Om Tat Sat. Om Sri Krishnarpanamastu. Mantrahina, Kriyahina, Bhaktihina, Kshamapate.